Most of the young people are always referred to as the future of the nation. And yes, indeed, all over the world, it's a common saying that many people shall always refer to the young men and women as the leaders of tomorrow's nation. But the future leader requires a lot. This takes nurturing and grooming them through institutions and proper bringing up from home. Now, for those that are vulnerable, a number of organizations have come up to give support to these young people that are mostly teens and have failed to join higher institutions due to failure to raise tuition fees for themselves due to their situations. However, it's also very uncommon for organizations and companies to come up and give free help, like establishing educational facilities that help the vulnerable children at higher institutions. Now, call it a gift from God or God sent, is the emergency of Kampabits to the people of Uganda. Kampa, which simply stands for Kampala, represents the capital of Uganda. Then the bits are the counting of memory of the computer chips. Now, Alex Okwaput, who is the director and coordinator of the activities of Kampabits, explains the origin of Kampabits.
Kampabits is a youth organization focused on improving the livelihoods of vulnerable youth, mainly from the informal settlements in Kampala. And it started in Nairobi. 3 Dutch ladies were looking at the situation in Nairobi and saw that young people were really having difficulties, challenges in life, especially those within the slums. So they felt that they would find a way of giving them skills that can make them more dignified in their society in terms of being able to take care of their own costs using the skills that they gain from the training.
And given the vulnerability rates of our young people that are in urban settings and slums, it was as if almost all interventions in the country by the civil society organization and even other stakeholders were not looking at addressing their vulnerability. So we realized that the young person in slums are the young people's substance abuse. They will end up in police, prison, but even when they come out, we don't see any reformation, and many of them are the ones who are having the iron bars, moving around, pickpocketing and every other thing.
To Alex Okwaput, Kampabits started with a small group of people that it could handle, but to date, it has seen it grow to one of the main institutions, especially when it comes to information technology, who's one of the best products of students that are produced.
We're looking at learning from the small number and then seeing how we can be able to scale it up to something bigger. Yeah. After that, they felt that it was better to spread this outside Nairobi. So it first went to Addis Ababa. Then there is another. Addis Ababa is called Addis Bits, so you can see the connection. And then there is another in Zanzibar, which is called Zanzibits. And then later, Kampabits was set up. And on top of Kampabits, we now have Arua Bits, which is in the northern part of Uganda. And right now, Kampabits working together with Butterfly Works and Nairobits to set up another one in Pakistan.
It's a dream come true, looking at where they have come from and what they have achieved.
We have a young person who is close by Makerere University. He's called Rashid. He came from a background of a carpentry family. Then he decided to go through this training. Now he offers internship for university students who are studying IT to get a real practical experience. So he helps them understand how do you design a website using this CMS and all that kind of thing.
And indeed, speaking to some of the former students and current students, most of them were discovered through community-based organizations commonly known as CBOs in the different parts of Kampala.
Through our community-based HIV counselors, we identify young people from families of people living with HIV, and then we recommend them and forward them to Kampabits as our partners so that they can be trained in various skills, especially IT-related skills.
We look for those ones. We go up country like Utaleja. We've discovered that men don't pay school fees for their children. What they do is marry women, as many as possible, so that they could provide labor on that rice scheme. And the kids they produce too, they all go there. So we come in with partner organizations, like we would have Kampabits, and then we find a way of sending these people to school.
The fact that Kampabits has been young, growing up gradually, we partnered with CSOs that are operating or working within urban settings. And these CSOs, many of them were also going through the same challenges. They didn't have much to give to these young people. So we partnered, they are partners, there are about 7 of them in urban settings. So they are now referring the young people for the services they cannot provide them to Kampabits. They already have the structures that actually assess the vulnerability at that level and then recommend to Kampabits to give those digital designing skills.
There are community-based organizations. So we link with them. We normally advertise the positions. Then they refer to us, the young people, and they also continue to follow them up. If they are not coming to school to study, we get in touch with them. When they finish training, they do a little bit of work with them in terms of giving back to the society and so on. So that's how we source them.
Richard and Alex emphasize and stress what some of the dreams are for the institute that has seen the grooming and growth of some of the future leaders in the country, exhibiting some of the best IT skills in the country.
The studies around the youth unemployment, the percentages of unemployed youth are very high. So we are trying to bridge that gap. I know government is doing and other universities are doing, but we also know that the young people who have not necessarily gone beyond Form 4 have a talent. Of course, this is our focus. We don't look at really we don't look at mainly geniuses. We look at people who have fallen out of school.
The dream we have is that we want to scale up all these kind of entrepreneurial opportunities to so many young people countrywide.
In Kampala, there are a number of community-based organizations, and some of them are found in Rubaga and Nansana. All these in Kampala suburbs, where Kampabits has managed to get some of its young people. A couple of students indeed managed to give their testimonies of how they managed to go through Kampabits. Now, one Ibra Chitandwe, who managed to pass through Kampabits, talks of how he's proud of Kampabits and it's made him who he is today.
We started doing with the Microsoft Office. We did those packages. We went out to Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, those designing programs, and we did them, and they are fabulous. We had nice results, and then I went again to another course Kampabits takes courses in sessions. There is a first course and the second course and the third course, and at every course they used to drop some people. So I managed to go through, to peruse through all of it.
Ibra also prides of the fact that even at his new place of work, there were many university students who had bachelors and masters, but he's managed to shine amongst them.
The people I was working with, some have masters, some have bachelors, and I'm a diploma guy from Kampabits. But I managed to be in them, and still I managed to be. I came out as a star from them, with them, because I was awarded the Best Field Facilitator award with them.
All these, the credit goes back to Kampabits that has managed to produce students and products such as these icons in the new emerging information technology sector and other various social sector too.
A lady who is now a CEO of her own organization, she runs a microfinance. When you were asking me what we train, I didn't mention that we also give entrepreneurship skills. So we prepare a young person, if you got all the skills, how can you start your own business? So she decided she wanted to give back to her family, and she started lending money to women to keep their daughters in school. And now she's employed 5 people, of course involving an accountant and stuff like that. And she's reached over to about 200 families, helping them. Then we have others who, we have a young person who is working with Africa. She is now the systems administrator there. Africa is an incubation center for entrepreneurs. So she joined there when she was doing internship, and eventually she was taken up as one of the people who was the best in comparison with the people she joined with.
We have one of our first graduates with Kampabits called Nampera Mary. She's now in Turkey. She's working in a restaurant, but majorly in the IT sector. We have actually one is a trainer at Kampabits himself, called Lawrence. Yeah, Lawrence is a trainer at Kampabits. We have actually, the list is endless for sure.
Ibra tells us of how life at the institute wasn't the best during the days of Kampabits, in that Ibra, who had to struggle to make ends meet, especially with him commuting from home to school.
So at rain seasons, sunny seasons, you see me on my bike. And these guys did not even believe that I was coming from a distance, because by then I was coming from Chireka, joining Kampabits to where it was in Muyenga. So I had to ride daily.
Now Emma Semutenga, a graduate from Makerere University in Information Technology, happens to be one of the trainers, or call it a lecturer, argues that Kampabits has got one of the best course units in information technology for students who are eager for IT knowledge.
As you realize, they have a lot of potential, though they didn't get maybe the chance to showcase it, if at all, because of the financial constraint. But when you give these students a chance, they really show you what they can do at their best, and they come out with very good projects that even you wouldn't have imagined.
And these were his words for the students at Kampabits that he's managed to train and lecture.
Sometimes some of them, like their attendance sometimes is irregular due to the problems they face out there, maybe the transport constraint and things. But when they do come back, I try to make sure that they catch up, and so that we can all be on the same page. Yeah.
According to Emma Semutenga, the syllabus encourages them to be job creators, not seekers, as many have testified about this. And with this, his few words is that the future is bright for these young students who happen to come from a vulnerable background and have managed to excel.
There's little room for learning on jobs. So basically, these hands-on skills will limit the theory and increase the practical. So students come out very confident on what they can do, and that has really helped them in the job market.
And because of this, Kampabits has further managed to empower some of its former students, in that they have managed to become trainers at Kampabits. Amongst them include Patrick Mitala and Rita. The two explain how they joined Kampabits.
I joined Kampabits through a CBO. Back then there was, because it was the beginning of Kampabits, we were the pioneers, and we were searched by the CBOs that were available. So I joined through a CBO called Caritas. Okay. Yeah.
This is really a great opportunity for me, because before I came here, I was at home. I had such olive and I was at home. I couldn't go further. But when I joined Kampabits, it really improved my skills, because I was a person who is like drawing graphics, the art graphics thing, and it really taught me how to turn that digital wise.
Our aim here is to support these young people so that they can get a skill, which skill they can use to go and get or create employment, which subsequently they can use to earn an income, and then overall they will help their families to economically earn an income and then be strengthened.
And after excelling at Kampabits, though managed to come at different intervals, they excelled at the fields where they joined to work after leaving Kampabits, proving the worth of Kampabits while at the field.
I used to do my internship in Mukono Municipal Council. Back then, municipalities had just been introduced in Uganda, and Mukono was starting up, so I would join there. I did my internship as the IT manager there. So I was there for 4 months. Then I sat home after my 4 months, I went home for 2 months, and then I applied. I went to NTV Uganda. So I started working for NTV Uganda for the full year. My experience was pretty good, because what I did at NTV, I'd already learned it in Kampabits, mostly the graphics, because I was in the graphics department. And also I learned more about filming, because I hadn't ventured into it in my time during Kampabits, but mostly the venturing into film, it was all the basis of the graphics I had. So at NTV Uganda, I just added what I didn't have, but it was still in the same family.
It has really improved my life in a way that right now I'm learning more than what I had, because I have to train, and if you have to train, you have to explore like all the package of what you're going to teach. So I'm learning more than, okay, the other time we used to learn, but there are some things you didn't take like serious. But right now I have to take them serious more and more.
Both being trainers at Kampabits now, their experiences with students is quite unique, looking at the fact that Kampabits also gave them the opportunity to be workers or employees at the same time.
But it's really good to see an institute that comes up and helps these youth at a really free amount. You get it? It's very rare to find. First of all, with the skills we have here, you find somewhere where they pay 1 million, 2 million, but here it's really cheap for us, and it really helps us, the youth. That's really to thank Kampabits at large for all their efforts and for helping all the youth like us and all the youth they will hope in the future. They have really improved our lives.
It's like a known experience that I went through, I myself. So coming here and teaching is the way that, like you understand how the students feel about it, because I was there one time back. So it's pretty not hard for me, because, like I when I'm training, I feel for them, what they feel, and I go down, I put my shoes in theirs, and I train them.
So far, the coordinators and directors at Kampabits have visions and dreams that they hope to see Kampabits as one of the best and strong institutions, with branches already open in some parts of the country such as Arua in northern Uganda. This also leaves them with one main challenge, and that they hope to achieve, and that's owning their home and structure, where the institute will be best.
As we talk now, we are still at Rubaga Road renting. But there is already a growing need in Imbare, in Imbarara, Masaka town settings. So we are like, now what do we do? Should we open up branches, renting and everywhere? But the beginning is that we are thinking of having our own home that will house the secretariat, and then also getting partners that can take it on in these other areas. Because now we have Kampabits, which was supported by Oxfam, that is already coming from Kampabits, and we want to see so many partners taking it on. Otherwise, other than that, when we have a home, then the small monies, the small funds we have for rent can be extended to maybe the trainers, can be taken to acquire the training materials, the computers that we use, because with our youth, the computer is their pen and it's their book.
10 years from now, I think we are going to have a critical mass of young people of this kind. For example, at the moment, within the Kampabits, we employ 2 of them who went through the training, meaning that in the next 5 or so years, they are going to up their grades and be able to maybe get further training.
For now, Kampabits is located at Mengo, a suburb in Kampala, with a number of students that are eager and passionate with what they are going through and learning. Kampabits, through the course of the years, it has managed to also pass out students in that they have graduated, and this is just a sign that yes, we are a recognized institution with better products, ready to face the world challenge that the world comes with.